All stand and remain standing until the conclusion of the reading of the proclamation. Ladies and gentlemen, the proclamation. All persons having any business before this honorable court, please draw nigh. Give your attendance, and you shall be heard. God save the Queen.
Admission of lawyers. Georgia Madison Akel. May it please the court, I move that Georgia Madison Akel be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Georgia Madison Akel be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Christopher Keith Anderson.
May it please the court, I move that Christopher Keith Anderson be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Christopher Keith Anderson be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Camille Tarek Aidan Leolu.
May it please the court, I move that Camille Tariq Aidan Leolu be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Camille Tariq Adinioglu be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Elise Baradan.
May it please the court, I move that Eliz Baradan be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Eliz Baradan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Arad Bedavand.
May it please the court, I move that Arad Bedavand be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Arad Bedavand be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Louise Gale Blue.
May it please the court, I move that Louise Gale Blue be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Louise Gale Blue be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sean Peter Bujaya.
May it please the court, I move that Sean Peter Bujaya be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Sean Peter Bujaya be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Gavin Pierre Carboni.
May it please the court that I move my son Gavin Pierre Carboni be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Gavin Pierre Carboni be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
James Paul Carroll.
May it please the court, I move that James Paul Carroll be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let James Paul Carroll be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Ataki Chandrasekhar.
May it please the court, I move that Ataki Chandrasekhar be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Ataki Chandrasekhar be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Isaac Christodoulou.
May it please the court, I move that Isaac Christodoulou be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Isaac Christodoulou be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Tasman Jade Daly.
May it please the court, I move that Tasman Jade Daly be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Tasman J. Daly be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Marie Dishlievska.
May it please the court, I move that Marie Dishlievska be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Marie Dishlievska be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Simon James Enderwick.
May it please the court, I move that Simon James Enderwick be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Simon James Enderwick be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Danielle Rose Epiphania.
May it please the court, I move that Danielle Rose Epiphania be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Danielle Rose Epiphania be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Alexandra Claire Fiddis.
May it please the court, I move that Alexandra Claire Fiddis be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Alexandra Claire Fiddis be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Anna Dyke Corbett Gemmill Smith.
May it please the court, I move that Anna Dyke Corbett Gemmill Smith be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Anna Dyte Corbett Gemmell Smith be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jandal Ryuan Go.
May it please the court, I move that Jansel May Ryuan Go be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jansel Rian Go be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Justin Francis Gauchus.
May it please the court, I move that Justin Francis Gauchus be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Justin Francis Gauchus be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kelly Gu.
May it please the court, I move that Kelly Gu be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Kelly Gu be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Joseph Shu Yao Guo.
May it please the court, I move that Joseph Ziyao Go be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Joseph Shuyal Guo be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Afif Momonu Haig.
May it please the court, I move that Afif Mominal Park be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Afif Mominal Haq be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Isabel Jade Herbert.
May it please the court, I move that Isabel Jade Herbert be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Isabel Jade Herbert be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Christopher David Huxley.
May it please the court, I move that Christopher Huxley be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Christopher David Huxley be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Bejan Imako.
May it please the court, I move that Bejan Imako be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Bejan Imako be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Anna Agnes Margaret Jacobs.
May it please the court, I move that Anna Agnes Margaret Jacobs be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Anna Agnes Margaret Jacobs be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Islana Murray Judge.
May it please the court, I move that Sliana Myrie Judge be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Islana Myrie Judge be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Muhammad Khalil Kamali.
May it please the court, I move that Muhammad Khalil Kamali be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Muhammad Khalil Kamali be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jeffrey Churkin Lau.
May it please the court, I move that Jeffrey Churkin Lau be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jeffrey Churkin Lau be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Callum Andrew Legg.
May it please the court, I move that Callum Andrew Legg be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Callum Andrew Legg be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Zichao Lee.
May it please the court, I move that Zishao Li be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Zichao Li be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Rebecca Elizabeth Maxton.
May it please the court, I move that my daughter, Rebecca Elizabeth Maxton, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Rebecca Elizabeth Maxton be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sarah Rose Mackenzie.
May it please the court, I move that Sarah Rose Mackenzie be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Sarah Rose Mackenzie be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Michael Miletus.
May it please the court, I move that Michael Miletus be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Michael Miletus be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sandra Milisavljevic.
May it please the court, I move that Sandra Milisavljevic
Let Sandra Milisavljevic be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Amal Muhammad.
May it please the court, I move that Amal Mohammed be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Amal Muhammad be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Rowan Moman.
May it please the court, I move that Rowan Moman be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Rowan Moman be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kirsten Lara Pennings.
May it please the court, I move that Kirsten Lara Pennings be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Kirsten Lara Pennings be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Brendan Pillay.
May it please the court, I move that Brendan Pillay be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Brendan Pillay be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Aurangzeb Habib Raj.
May it please the court, I move that Aurangzeb Habib Raj be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Aurangzeb Habib Raj be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Claudia Robinson.
May it please the court, I move that Claudia Robinson be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Claudia Robinson be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Luke William Salamoni.
May it please the court, I move that Luke William Salamoni be admitted as a lawyer to this honourable court.
Let Luke William Salamoni be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Simi Saluja.
May it please the court, I move that Simi Saluja be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Simi Saluja be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Mayank Sharma.
May it please the court, I move that Mayank Sharma be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Mayank Sharma be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Muhammad Sharif.
May it please the court, I move that Muhammad Sharif be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Muhammad Sharif be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Christian Vikarowski.
May it please the court, I move that Christian Vikarowski be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Christian Vikarovsky be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Patricia Wu.
May it please the court, I move that Patricia Wu be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Patricia Wu be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Janan Diab.
May it please the court, I move that Jeanette Diab be admitted as a honourable lawyer of this court.
Let Janan Diab be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Tanjim Khan.
May it please the court, I move that my daughter Tanjim Khan be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Tanjim Khan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Soda Saeed Nabila.
May it please the court, I move that Sauda Sayed Nabila be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Sauda Sayed Nabila be admitted as a lawyer of this court. It will be necessary for those applicants whose admission has been moved to stand and remain standing for the purpose of swearing an oath or making a declaration. Please stand as directed by the officiating officer.
Could the first two rows on my right please stand? Georgia Madison Akel. Christopher Keith Anderson. Camille Tariq Aidan Leolu. Elise Baradan. Arad Bedavant. Louise Gale Blue. Sean Peter Bujaya. Gavin Pierre Carboni. James Paul Carroll. Ataki Chandrasekhar. Isaac Christodoulou. Tasman Jade Daly. Marie Dishlievska. Simon James Enderwick. Daniel Rose Epifania. And Alexandra Claire Fiddis. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill and ability? Please say, so help me God, or I do. Please sit down. And could rows 3 and 4 on my right please stand. Anna Dyke Corbett Debels Smith. Danzel Rian Go. Justin Francis Gauchis. Kelly Yu. Joseph Shuya Gore. Afi Mominal Hark. Isabel Jade Herbert. Christopher David Huxley. Bejan Imako. Anna Agnes Margaret Jacobs. Islana Myri Judge. Mohammed Khalil Kamali. Jeffrey Cherkin Lau. Callum Andrew Legg. Zichao Lee. Rebecca Elizabeth Maxton. Sarah Rose Mackenzie. Michael Miletus. Sandra Milisavljevic. Amal Muhammad. Rowan Moman. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill and ability? Please say, so help me God, or I do. Thank you. Please sit down. And could both rows on my right, left, please stand up. Kirsten Lara Pennings. Brendan Pillay. Aurangzeb Habib Raj. Claudia Robinson. Luke William Salamoni. Simi Saluja. Mayank Sharma. Mohammed Sharif. Christian Vikarowski. Patricia Wu. Danan Diab. Tanjim Khan. Soda Saeed Nabila. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill and ability? Would you please say, so help me God, or I do? Thank you. Please sit down.
The court has now moved through the formal parts of the admission ceremony. That has involved each person seeking admission making application to the court, and with the court in the presence of all of you, admitting that person as a lawyer of the court. May I warmly welcome each of you to the Supreme Court of New South Wales. Present with me on the bench today, on my immediate right, is Justice Adamson, a judge of the Common Law Division of the court. Sitting to my left is Justice Lindsay, a judge of the Equity Division of the court. Sitting on my far right is Justice Williams, a judge of the Equity Division of the court. The Common Law Division and the Equity Division of the court are the trial courts. They are the divisions which deal with civil and criminal trials in a very wide range of areas. It is sometimes said that the Common Law Division and the Equity Division are the engine rooms of the court. I am also a judge of the Common Law Division. Accordingly, you have on the bench today a wide range of experience, and a very wide range of experience in the work of the court. We are sitting today on the land for which First Nation people, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, have cared and been custodians for thousands of years. The court pays its respects to elders of the Gadigal people, past, present and emerging. To all the new lawyers here today, and on behalf of the Chief Justice and all members of the Supreme Court, welcome to the legal profession. Today is a day for celebration. You have all worked extremely hard to get here. Many days of legal research, textbooks, cases, long and short, in a wide variety of areas. And for most of you, unlike those who have sat in your positions more than 2 years ago, your journey has involved 2 very challenging final years affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. The effect of the pandemic was widespread. For you as students, you undoubtedly were deprived of many of the opportunities for forging close bonds with your peers through day-to-day face-to-face contact with them in a learning setting. You have faced those challenges which have been enormous. That makes your achievement all the more impressive, and the fortitude which you have developed in that process will stand you well in your futures in the law. It is in a spirit of optimism that I express the court's hope that you enter the profession at a time when our society is leaving behind the worst aspects of the pandemic. In being admitted as a lawyer of this court, you join a profession with ancient origins. The custom of advocates swearing an oath on admission to practice dates back to the 12th century. This court first admitted lawyers in 1824. By 1830, the names of lawyers were entered onto rolls in this state, as you will do immediately after this ceremony. You have thus now become part of this tradition almost 200 years later. The court is also pleased to welcome those with you today or watching on the live stream. For many of you, the support of your family and friends has been invaluable, and this especially so during the trials and tribulations resulting from the pandemic. You have no doubt expressed your thanks to family and friends for their support and assistance during these challenging years, which have culminated in you appearing today in the court for the purpose of being admitted as lawyers in this state. The law touches every part of our society, and it can and will lead you all in many different directions and career paths. But in whatever direction you head, you must always remember that the oath or affirmation you have just made is a serious one and deserves solemn regard. Whether you work in private practice, at the bar, in a community legal centre, a Crown Law office, a government department or agency, in criminal law, civil law, commercial law, or in an entirely different field, you should be known for your honesty, your integrity, and your commitment to justice. And you must strive at all times to uphold these values. Admission as a member of the legal profession is a privilege and not a right. It is an acknowledgement of this weighty responsibility that we observe today's unique formalities, including the fact that your admission has been moved by someone who is already a member of the legal profession, and that you have made a formal oath or affirmation in the presence of your family and peers. They are all witnesses to the promises and undertakings you have made today. As to formality, you will see from the portraits on the walls of this court that we are wearing the same robes as have been worn by our predecessors. Symbolically, that highlights the continuity of the rule of law in New South Wales. In a world in which there is much global uncertainty and insecurity, as exemplified by the terrible events in Eastern Europe, the rule of law is more important than ever and is not simply a theoretical concept. It is the opposite of the arbitrary abuse of power and the rule of autocratic dictators. Although we mark this occasion with formality and tradition, not everything in the legal profession remains unchanging. COVID-19 meant a rapid shift to an increased use of virtual courtrooms and technology to ensure access to justice continued in the midst of a pandemic. Challenges have arisen in terms of open justice and fairness to participants. But for all the challenges we faced, new opportunities presented themselves, including greater workplace flexibility, which is especially important for lawyers with families. Better use of technology also has serious implications for how our legal system interacts with and may become accessible to many people, including those in rural areas, those with a disability, medical conditions, or carers' responsibilities. Although the increased use of technology offers a number of advantages, the practice of law has human interaction at its core. It is best done face-to-face in the courtroom. An essential part of being a good lawyer is understanding people, how others react to different situations, how they perform under pressure, and deal with each other. There are other areas of change that deserve attention. When we think of the diversity of the legal profession, we encounter the position that we have come very far, but there is much that needs to be done. For example, although women were originally not permitted to practice law at all in this state, since 2018, women have made up more than half of all solicitors with a practicing certificate in New South Wales and currently make up 64% of solicitors under the age of 30. Women also occupy many of the most senior positions in the law, including, of course, the Chief Justice of the High Court of Australia, the Commonwealth Attorney General, the President of the Court of Appeal in this state, and recently both the state and Commonwealth Directors of Public Prosecutions. It is important as well that there should be strong representation of lawyers from the many different backgrounds which comprise our cosmopolitan community. Diverse representation amongst solicitors, advocates and judges assists in ensuring that all people who become involved in our justice system can and feel they can be properly heard and fairly engaged with by a system which reflects our broader community. The admission ceremonies on which I have sat since becoming a judge in the Common Law Division 17 years ago highlight that there is a far greater diversity of background amongst junior lawyers than in former years, and that is a very good thing. These are important developments which will continue to occur in this state. You, the newly admitted lawyers, are in a unique position as you enter the profession at a time when, more than ever, your words and actions are having an impact for good. You should speak up for the things that matter and in which you believe. You are the future of the profession and will steer the direction which the profession will take. I also urge you to engage with your communities outside the law. Your training as a lawyer in systematic thought, the importance of matters of principle and fundamental fairness, including due process, equip you very well for service beyond day-to-day practice. You will also derive great satisfaction from such engagement. As a lawyer, you will often need to make difficult ethical decisions. You must use the tools which you have developed to think critically and not compromise on your fundamental duties to the court and the administration of justice. One mistake you must not make is to believe that you should give your clients the advice you think they want to hear. That is not good advice. Justice Gageler, before he became a judge of the High Court of Australia, once said, "You must be prepared to give the same answer to the same questions for the same reasons, no matter who asked the question or for what purpose or in what context the asking may occur." At times, acting in a responsible and ethical way as a lawyer is very hard work, but it is your duty to the court, to the administration of justice, and your client which lie uppermost and which should govern your approach to the practice of law. Being a lawyer means that you are an advisor, a problem solver, a mediator, and an advocate. As you go about your day-to-day work, you should remember that you are not merely dealing with the law in a vacuum, but law as it applies to people's lives. The practice of law is not an arid exercise. It involves dealing with persons at times of great stress in ways which probably they have not encountered before. An individual in need of your services as a lawyer is in most cases an individual facing some kind of great personal challenge affecting his or her liberty, property, personal well-being, or health or financial position. For these reasons, you must always strive to deliver legal services sensitively, competently, and fearlessly, but always with courtesy and integrity. In this context, I wish to emphasise the importance of civility. Aspects of the law, especially if you are involved in court proceedings, can be confrontational. The practice of the law can be stressful and demanding enough without friction and antagonism between practitioners adding to the load. It is essential that you maintain your detachment, balance, and good humour, remembering at all times that you are members of a profession and not a business. Please keep in mind that the best advocates can and do make their point simply and succinctly. For a non-lawyer, law is often difficult to understand. One of your roles as a lawyer will be to make accessible to others the law, sometimes by unravelling legal complexities and poor drafting. You should strive to be clear and concise at all times in both your writing and your speaking. The practice of law involves both success and failure. All of you will wish to succeed in your practice and win every case that you are involved in. That is not the way the world works. Cases will be lost, and at various points of your career you will make mistakes, some minor, some more serious. We all make mistakes from time to time, especially when we are starting something new. Judges make mistakes, which is why there are appeal courts. In your practice, however, it is important that you try not to make the same mistake twice. When you do make mistakes, your commitment to honesty, integrity, and the administration of justice means that you must take when you do make mistakes, your commitment to honesty, integrity in the administration of justice means that you must take responsibility, correct what you can, and learn from those errors. Your physical and mental health are both extremely important. There may be times when you feel overwhelmed or burnt out. In years gone by, lawyers would often tend to hide these problems. Barristers and solicitors would battle on. That is the worst thing to do. Legal practice can be all-consuming and physically and mentally taxing. You must work hard to keep your balance and keep your eye out to ensure that your colleagues do as well. If you do get overwhelmed by it all, as we all have from time to time, try to take a step back and recapture some perspective, or suggest gently to your colleagues that they do so. In this context, also remember that in times of difficulty, the support and friendship of your peers will prove invaluable. Always remember that you are not alone. You should not be afraid to seek professional help if needed. Both the Law Society and the Bar Association in this state are fully attuned to the potential stresses of practice. The law is a great profession, stimulating, challenging, and satisfying, and populated by intelligent, dynamic people who are committed to the law. You should be proud to be a lawyer and be proud for your achievements to date. A legal career is one that can take you in many different directions, all of which are interesting and rewarding. Earlier in these remarks, I mentioned the history of the Supreme Court, where lawyers were first admitted in 1824, 198 years ago. After this ceremony, you will all travel down to the ground floor of this building. It's customary these days, particularly on a sunny Sydney day, to move into Queen Square to take photographs on the steps of the court. I invite you to look around Queen Square. You'll be surrounded by history. Immediately opposite is the famous St. James Church. Next to it is the oldest courthouse in Sydney. The original courthouse was built at the corner of King and Elizabeth Streets in the 1820s. Other parts were added to that courthouse in the 1850s and in the 1890s. That court continues to be used as a working courthouse. Criminal trials have been conducted there for many years. I've had the privilege of entering that courthouse frequently in the last 17 years. When I do, I cannot help but think of its history, the trials and sentencing proceedings over nearly 2 centuries. There have at times been injustices. In more modern times, and certainly in the period that I have served as a judge, you will find a number of things when you enter the courthouse. You will see criminal trials where juries made up of members of the community, drawn together randomly, sit on criminal trials in judgment of other citizens. You'll see judges and lawyers working with the jury, striving to do their best to reach a just verdict according to the law and the evidence. It is a working courthouse, despite its antiquity, with living links to the past, administration of justice in this state extending back nearly 200 years. That courthouse serves as a reminder of the history of the court and the practice of law in this state, which you have today joined with your admission as lawyers. On behalf of the Chief Justice and all the judges of the Supreme Court, I once again congratulate you on your admission and welcome you to the legal profession. The court will now adjourn.
All stand. This honourable court is now adjourned. God save the Queen.
Congratulations.